content of my paragraph. This is content 2. Then we close our P tag. Okay. We close our P tag. Okay. So that is easy way we write our content. Then we went further to look at the structure of a web page. Before you write anything, you should, I always tell my class, this structure should be in your head. This structure should be like your Quran or your Bible, something you memorize, okay? When you put this structure on your web page, we said doc type is defining the document type declaration of the web page. And with this doc type, we're saying HTML is what we want the browser to process. HTML is what we want the browser to process. So this is the beginning of our HTML document. And this is the closing at the end. At the end of your structure is the closing HTML document. Okay. So if I ask you what are the main content tags for the structure of a web page, so that include the HTML tag, the head tag, the body tag. Because if the head has certain predefined characters, such as the meta tag, the title. Who can tell me where we said the title content will display? Any content we put in the title tag, where will it display?
In the address bar.
Thank you. It will display in the address bar of the browser. It will display in the address bar of the browser. So that's what we did last week. This was our practice 1. Practice 1. Look at the content of the address bar. Switch. 2026 practice 1. That is where the content of the title tag will display. Okay. Then anything that you want to display in the body of the browser to the user of your website should be in between the body tag. You see how the body tag is? I said page content goes here. The title of your page, the paragraphs, the headings, the images, video, forms, tables that you want to display your design to the user. It will go in between the body tags. So please study this structure of your web page. Okay. And that is what we did with that page. So I'm going to open this in the text editor. So website, we write it using text editor, and one of them is Notepad. Notepad. So that's my Notepad. So that's my Notepad. Okay. That's you're going to open your web page. I'm going to open your web page here using open.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Please, apart from the Notepad, is there any other app we can use?
Yes, we mentioned them last week. Were you here last week?
I was about, my data went off, so I'll struggle to join back. By the time I came back,
who will remind him? Who will remind him of examples of what do you call it?
The text editors.
Text editors, yes.
There's Notepad plus plus.
The Notepad plus plus. And the Notepad itself.
Notepad itself, thank you. Notepad plus plus and then Notepad itself. So this is our practice 1. I'm going to open that one. Okay. So who asked the question earlier? Text editor. Okay. So text editor, when you even come here and type text, Sublime Test, I have installed Sublime Test. Sublime Test is also another example. We have Notepad and we have Notepad++. And we have many more, WordPad, there are many. Visual Studio Code is also an example. Are you okay? Visual Studio Code. So when you go, when they search more about text editor, okay? Right. We'll be using it a lot for website development. Notepad it comes with a window. When you install Windows operating system, everybody will have Notepad. The Sublime Text, I downloaded it and install. Notepad++, I downloaded it and install. Are you okay?
Okay.
Okay. So last week, this was our page. We had the document structure, then we gave our title for the address bar. Hello.
Hello. Please, I wanted to ask a question. That can we see all IDs are text editors? Can we see all IDs are also text editors?
ID, integrated development environment.
Yes, madam.
No. They are what you that's what you have called it, integrated development environment. And some will call it what you see is what you get. ID is like you are dropping, is that not it?
Yes,
you are dragging and dropping things to the interface to design for you. So I think we describe in note 1, note 1B or 1A. Lesson 1A is here. We should have talked about text editor here. Text editor, domain name, security. Okay. Web programmer's toolbox. Web programmer's toolbox. Okay. So I will add it here, okay? It's supposed to be here. Then we mentioned it and I demonstrated, okay. So I'll add that to this note and send to you. All right, so today we're going to continue from last week. This was our practice 1. We say, how many type of heading did we say we have?
6.
Thank you.
Madam.
6, madam.
6 headings. So, and that's what we demonstrated. And we demonstrated H1 tag up to H6 tag. And you could see that the largest font size is H1. And the smallest font size is H6. Okay. Then we try to add a paragraph. This is paragraph, 1 paragraph we've added. Then I said, I'm doing text formatting. I'm doing text formatting within this paragraph. We were able to bold this web server. And we're able to bold HTTP server. We bolded it, okay? Who can remind me the tag we used to do the bolding?
We use the strong tag.
Strong tag. Okay. We use a strong tag. Thank you. We use a strong tag. So when you see the code after heading up to 6, we use a strong tag to bold web server. Remember I said we are programming using what? HTML5. So web server, we bold it. Then we went ahead to bold strong Apache. Okay. Okay. Then went ahead to do what again? We add SCA. What is the S tag doing? What is the S tag doing?
Strike through.
Strike through. Thank you. You can see how it what it did here. Strike through. And I said this can be used for website for scheduling or for conference, where when you are extending the date of something, you strike through the initial one, then you write the new one. Then what did we use to do? Yes, stability and extensibility. What tag?
We use the U.
U tag, underline.
Yes.
Underline.
Tag.
The U. Thank you. We have we have also added 34 raised to power 5. Okay, look at that. Soup. We wrote our 34 normally. Then we said soup 5. Then we close the soup. Okay. So those are the things we were looking at last week. Lesson 1B, we're up to test formatting. So, okay. So you can do block quotes. You want your program to display your text or code within the browser to display like text editor writing. Okay. Then you use the code around the text. Okay. So one important part to look at is hyperlinks today. We're going to look at hyperlink. Hyperlink is used to link one page to the other. And to do that, you use the A tag, anchor tag is what you use to link to one page or the other, okay? The syntax for linking is href. Href attribute is very important. Href is hypertext referencing. Then you write the page you want to link to, the URL you want to link to. So now, the text that will display the link will be in between the opening tag and the closing tag. The text that will display the link so the user can see and click will be in between the opening tag. You know, opening tag ends here, and then the closing tag is just here. So in between them, you put the text that will be displayed. In HTML, we have two types of links. Link can be absolute. Please mute yourself. Two types of links. So links can be absolute or relatives. Okay. When we talk about absolute link, you are going to link your website or web page to another website out there. So if I want to link to Google, for example, that is absolute link. You realize that Google is already established online. It's already published online. So from my website, I want to link to Google. So that type of link is called absolute link. To do that link, you start with anchor tag and then href. Href attribute will point to Google. Href equals to google.com. You see it here. Then I want the name Google to be displayed. So I'll say Google website. This one will be displayed with the link. And by default, Google website that will be displayed will be blue in color and be underlined. In web browser, links are always by default blue and underlined. We can remove the underline using CSS. You can remove that using CSS. All right. The second type of link is called relative link. It's called relative links. When I create several pages, of web pages. So maybe pages 1 to 10. Then I want to link them together. So all these pages are in my folder. So those pages in my folder that I'm linking to are called relative links. They are called relative links. Okay. So those are the two types of links. We'll demonstrate link later. Another link you can do within your document is called sectioning. Linking to sections of a page. I have one page and I want to link to different sections of the website. So I will do link to this links within a page or anchors to different sections on a page is what we are demonstrating here. Okay. To do that, the position you want to link to, you give it an ID. So that's what I say. First, give the position you want to link to an ID. Example, in the paragraph 2, this is the second paragraph. I've given the second paragraph an ID. Remember we said to give an ID, it should be in the opening tag. So the second paragraph, the opening tag, I say ID equals to A. Then in my link, when I'm using the anchor tag, A, href will be equal to the A I've given here, and I'll precede it with hashtag. You precede it with hashtag. A, href equals to hashtag. Then you write the sentence that will carry the link, then you close your link tag. Remember, we said there are two types of link. Absolute is to another website. Relative is to my own web pages that I've created. However, we can also link within a page so that if the page is too long, from the top to the bottom, from the top to the middle, from the bottom to the top, this is where you use this type of links. All right. Link also go to how they work with how the page can be opened. Sometimes when you click on a link and you open it, the page will open in a new browser. So, and sometimes too, the page will open within the page that you have already opened up. So that is the essence of targets. Okay, hyperlinks. Okay, we are still on hyperlinks, but with this type of hyperlinks, we are using. We want to tell the browser how the page should be open. We want to tell the browser how the page should be open. Okay, so targets can be blank. Targets, the value can be parent, and target, the value can be top. So we are telling the browser how it should open the browser. So if we say target equals to blank within our href, within the A tag. So far now we have two attributes here. The page we are linking to is done using href. The target equals to blank is you say you should create a new window for the page and open the content within a new page. All right. So target equals to blank will open the link page in a new browser, and the other browser will still be there where the user will click. But when we say target equals to parents, it will open page in the parent frame. In the parent frame. And that is like the default. By default, if I go to Google and then or any website, UCC website. Okay, so if I go to UCC websites, okay. Okay, let me even go to Scholar. So Scholar, if I'm here and I search for plagiarism. If I search for plagiarism, okay, this is the page I've opened for my search. So if I click on awareness about plagiarism among university students. You see that the web page is open within the same browser. You cannot see the other where I've clicked from again. Okay, this one, the target is parent. Target is parent. But if I click that link, if I click this link and it's opening an additional page to display that content, the target equals what? Blank. The
Blank.
target blank. Hello. All right. So we are going to demonstrate the hyperlink. So I'll start demonstrating hyperlink from here, link to our pages. So we are going to add the linking to the body. So you go in between the body because we want the user to see our link. You go here and write the anchor. So my anchor link is within paragraphs. I'll put it within a paragraph, okay? And this is the first link, and this is the second link, okay? So let's see, save our work. Who can tell me, the first one is what type of link? href equals to HTTP. The moment you see that, that is absolute link. And the moment you say href equals to lectures.html, lecture notes, okay? This is relative link. So for this to work, we have to create this page in our directory. So I'm going to create this page in our directory. This one. Okay. So this one, I'm going to save it. Save as. I'm going to save this to your directory. So the name is lectures.html. Lectures.html. And make sure it is saved as all types. Lectures.html. Every website should end with .html extension. So we are saving that. So this page is in your folder now. Switch practice. Switch practice. Lectures.html is here. All right. So since they are in the same folder, this is how it will be. This is how the link will be in the same folder. But if the
Hello, madam.
hello.
Yeah, please. When saving, sometimes can you save directly to the HTML, or unless you use, like you're saying, you use the all type?
The MIME type, when let's say it makes things easier for you. If you are writing CSS using text editor, you'll be saving it in your same directory, okay, in your folder. So quickly, I just say all type, then I go. If not, you'll be looking for the syntax. You'll be looking for the type. It's there.
Okay.
So it's there. Let me say, if you want to save, maybe, is that the one we saved? Practice 4. So let's say I want to save this one. And I say save as practice 4. If I'm saving this as practice 4.html, you have to go down here and search for it. Do you understand? I don't waste that time. So if you can do that, you can do it. You check here for the HTML and select it. Do you understand? So this is how I practice. Practice 4.html. And I say all type will take the type you have saved it as. If not, you'll be searching for it. Okay. Are you okay? So if you can search and be doing that, fine.
Yes, please.
All right. So
Okay, Doc.
we are demonstrating our link. Please let me have my lecture finished. When we demonstrate this link, relatives is down, absolute is here, and we have saved our file. So go to switch practice. This was our page before. When we refresh, we see that we have the two types of links, the two types of link. Google websites will send me to, you see that it opened Google for me. Google for me. In the same page. It didn't open another page. It didn't open another page for me. But lecture note, also on the same page. It didn't open another page for me. So that's what we're talking about. So now we are going to add target. We are going to add target to this page. So if I go to Google, and I say target equals to blank. Target equals to blank. And I save it. Then I'm going to add target again here. Lecture note, you can add target there. Target equals to blank. So you save your work. So let's see how our page will. We are refreshing our page. We see Google websites. You see that it's open in another page. And our content is already there. The new page is here. So I can go back here and open lecture notes. It also open another page, practice 3. The other page is still open down where we are clicking from. So that is the essence of target equals to blank. It will open your link in a new browser window. Your link in a new browser window. Okay. So we are any question on link? Okay. So you are clear with link. So I've demonstrated this type of link, and we have added target. We have added target attribute. So now we want to create a link within one single page, a link within a page. To do that, we are going to add more text. More text. That's what we are going to add. So I'm going to add these 2 paragraphs. Adding these 2 paragraphs. All right. So after, I'm going to add a lot of them, this paragraph. before I do, we have to correct this quotation. All right. So, 2 paragraphs. Okay. What did I do? Okay. I want to copy. All right. So I'm going to add lot of paragraphs. I'm placing lot of paragraphs. All right. So that we can see the impact of the anchor. So I've added many paragraphs. And at this place, I'm giving it that ID. You say within the last paragraph, we say ID equals to A. So we want, when we click at the top, it should come down. So that this content, I'll change it to, okay. I'll change it to, we are doing well with the HTML lesson. We are doing well with the HTML lesson. So I save that. Okay, now we are going to create a IT equals A. Okay. We are going to create our link at the top. We are going to add the link here. The next link. I'm going to add it here. So if I say, sorry. I want to put the link in a paragraph. So in between here, we are going to add our link. Going to add the link. So for the link, okay, so let's use the anchor link here. Okay. So A is our anchor tag, and we say href equal to #A. Okay. Because we gave ID at the bottom, our ID equals to A. So you can change our ID to B. If our identifier for this paragraph is B, then our anchor tag, the href will be equal to #B, #B. Okay, so let's save this work. And then we view our page in the browser. I refresh this page. Okay, I refresh this page. Okay, so these are my pages. When I click on this link, let's see what happens. When I click on that link, it will jump to the ID place. It will jump to the ID. We are doing well with the HTML. So you see the last section of the page, you see it will jump to that location. Okay. So let's say from this page, user want to go back to the top. User want to go back to the top. Okay. So you go into the code. You go here and add give an ID here. You can, okay, to the top. I can count to H1. H1, I will say ID equals C. ID equals C. Inside the H1 opening tag, ID equals C. Okay. We want, when user click the bottom, where the anchor will be, it should come to the top. So I'm going to add this to the bottom. To the bottom. So I come here to the bottom. You say anchor tag, link back to the top. We want to link back to the top. The top is what should be displayed for the user, top. Href will be equal to, who will tell me what the href will be, the value? Thank you, hashtag C. Because the top, we gave the place identifier as C. Thank you. So I'll save this work. And let's see what our browser look like. We are refreshing. When we refresh this browser, you see the top here, top. Top as a link. Then when you click on it, you should move to the beginning of the page. Have you seen that? Bottom, top, bottom, top. So that's what we have done today. That's the link aspect of a web page. Okay. So thank you. You are following. We have practiced this link. All right. In HTML, we have elements categorized into block level elements, and then what? Inline elements. Block level elements, inline level elements. All right. When we talk about block level elements, okay, it is a tag that when you are programming, you can embed other tags within it. You can nest other tag within it. For example, when you take a paragraph, within a paragraph will have text, and those tests you can use EM on it, emphasize. You can apply emphasize in between the word text. And then you can have text. Then you take one word and add anchor tag. You link that one word within the text. Have you seen what is going on? So that means P is a block level element in which other element can be nested. A block level element always starts on a new line when in the browser. Okay, it will always start in a new line in the browser. But all these ones, we are using it within that particular tag. Okay, so that's why we say that block level element contains an entire large region of contents, because it's a mixture of inline. It's a mixture of other nested tags. All right. But when we talk about inline, it is used to define small pieces of content. Okay. Small, and it is always within the block level elements. Inline elements are within the block level element, and they are used to define small pieces of content or change how they look in the browser. Example of block level elements are span tag, anchor tag, as we see here, anchor, and then strong and image. Okay, you can say image should flow around the text. Okay, last week I'm happy we did a lot of block level and inline. Well, let's look at the last week example. The first paragraph. Hey, you see where our paragraph started? Paragraph. And you see where it ended? It is block level. Within the paragraph, we have added sub tag, strong tag, Okay, a lot of tag are added here. EM, did I add EM? Emphasize, underline tag, EM tag. Wow. So this is good. We have added U tag, EM tag, S tag, and then what? Strong. So we've nested a lot of tags within a paragraph. So all other tags we have nested here inline examples. And the P stand out as what? Block level elements. All right. So as we continue with our lesson, I'll be asking you, looking at the code, which one is block level and which one is what? Inline. Okay. Now we are going to create lists. We use lists to organize and present information in a structured format. That will enable the user to easily digest the content of your website. Nobody will tell you what to do whilst you are developing website. As you develop website, you should be creative. You should know that this should be my paragraph, this should be my headings, and this should be listed. I should use list, and this I should use a form. This content I should design it using tables. So you have to be very creative. Okay. In HTML, there are three main types of lists. Ordered list. Ordered list. Then we have unordered list. Unordered list. Then the third one is definition. Definition list. In HTML, we have three types of lists. So ordered, unordered, and definition. On definition list. All right. Unordered list is done using UL tag. Okay. And it's a type of list that you use to list an item using bullets. Okay. Unordered list is not numbered when it lists the item. It uses bullets. And bullets are many, right? So for example, in your PPT, when I select this content and I go to list, all these are example of what? Bullets. But by default, HTML bullet will use the circle. Okay, filled circle. So we call it bullet. Okay, that is on order list. To write on order list, this is our code. As I said earlier, you use UL tag, and each of the lists will be done using Lee tag. So Lee programming, then I close the Lee. Then another list item, teamwork, I close it. Another list item will be done using Lee communication. All right. So if I want to do the list on my left, this one, how many Lee tags will I have? Thank you.
5.
Thank you. So it will be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be 5 to list them. So please practice. List is easy. On other list is UL. Then you do the number of items list. Then you close your another list. Okay. So looking at the code on my right, which one is the block level element?
Madam, the UL.
Thank you. It's a UL. is a UL because within it we have nested lead tags, which is inline. So lead tag becomes inline. So we are gathering more examples of block level element as we go. The second type of list is called ordered list. Ordered list is done using OL tag, and it's a type of list used to display your listed item in numbers. In numbers, okay? Ordered list is numbered when it display in the browser, okay? So if you can do on ordered list, easily you can also write the code for ordered list. It's simple. So we have OL tag, then closing OL tag, and then in between them we have series of lead tag. Series of lead tag, opening and closing for your listed items. And because of OL tag, it will display your item as ordered, numbered, okay? All right. Hello?
Yeah, hello, madam.
Yes.
Yes, I wanted to find out, assuming you want to have the font size to be increased a little, how do we work on that?
To increase
Yes, please.
the font size of your of the content.
Of the link. Yes, please, the content.
Of the lead content.
Yes, please.
You come to CSS. You add CSS. Okay. You add the attribute
Okay.
CSS
Okay.
to it. So
Okay.
when we come to CSS, you can ask that question. You can even do it when we finish. All right. So now to increase font size of everything, we use a font size, okay, to do that. All right. So the third type of list is called definition list. This is used to display list terms alongside with their corresponding description or definition. Definition list is also known as description list. Description list. So that's why I put here description or definition list. Okay. It is used to display a term along with their corresponding definition or description. For example, this is how the content will display. This is how the content will display. So you see, this is the term and then description or definition. Term, definition, term, definition. Okay. So mostly you use this to develop something like a dictionary. Yes. Something like dictionary. A term and their description. All right. The definition list is created using the DL tag. All right. Okay. It's created using the DL tag. Okay. And then the definition term will follow using DT tag. And then the definition or description will follow using the DD tag. So to create a definition list, we use three main tags. Example, if I want to create a definition list, I'll start my DL tag here. And then we have the closing tag there. For each of my definition term, I use DT tag. It's here, DT tag. HTML. Then the DD will be what? It stands for Hypertext Markup Language, the standard language for creating web definition. So I close my DD. CSS. DT will be, definition term will be CSS. Then DD, I write what it means and close it. So here I close it. The third definition term is JavaScript, DT. Then I use DD to write the definition and close it. It's as easy as that. Okay. Definition list. Cool. Okay, we are going to demonstrate the type of list. The type of list, the three types of list. So this is the first one on order list. All right, another list. So I'm going to create a new file. This file, we are going to add the list. Then for this list, we are going to give it the document structure. We are going to give it a document structure. All right. So I'm going to close the body tag. So close the body tag. Then we close the HTML. HTML must be closed last on your page. We close the HTML. Okay, so let's save our work. This work will be saved as practice 2. Practice 2.html. All right, so my default is already there, all type. Practice 2.html. So I'm saving it in your folder, the practice folder. Save. All right. So we have saved our work. Okay. So yeah, I'll make it practice 2. Practice 2. And practice 2, we are going to demonstrate URL on order list. On order list. So on order list, I'm going to add the OL tag. order list. Order list, hobbies. The hobbies, I want it in that form. Hobbies. So for hobbies, we want it numbered. So order list. Okay, order list. And then the third type of list is a definition list. Definition list, I have all of them. You can see that we give them a title. So based on this title, we have used 8383. This one must be changed to 83. All right, if not, it will be bigger than the rest. So we save our work and we demo. To demo your file, you go to the folder. Practice 2 is here. All right, so practice 2, we have type of list. Okay, on order is delta hobbies, and then what? HTML definition list. Okay, definition list. Okay. All right. Note that we can change the default. The default as a dot or as a decimal number, we can change it using CSS. So when we come to CSS, we'll apply ways we can change this one. But apart from CSS, for this default, let's say we can also old HTML. You can use OL, we say type attribute. I want to see whether it will still work. Type equals to, if I say type equals to I. Okay, type equals to I. Then we save it. So if I refresh, let's see what it. Okay, it's not working. The CSS will change, maybe change it. Type equals to, okay, so I'm coming. Type equals to A. Okay, A2 is not working there. So let's move our type to the link and see. Type equals to A. I will say it has changed it to A. Okay, it has changed it to A. But for undo, okay. This is an order list. So maybe here I will say type equals to A. And then here I'll say type equals to, I want a Roman number. So I will say I and say I. And this one will say type equals to lowercase a. Lowercase a. All right. So this what is doing. You know, it has taken A as 1 and here is 2. And C is C for the lowercase. So CSS can be used to do all this thing. But this old type of HTML, the older version, and it's still working. So when we come to CSS, we learn how to do this together. So let me see which one will override. Okay, it's not overriding. Okay. When we use CSL, you realize that we can just write the code within the OL. Then it will apply to all this. To apply to that. Okay. All right, so that's about list. 3 types of lists meant for different purposes. So apart from numbers, alpha, what do you call it? This type of number, which is a decimal number, you can change to ABC uppercase. You can change it to ABC lowercase. You can change it to Roman number upper, Roman number lower, these ones. But for the other list, apart from dot centers, you can change it to square, like this square. You can change your listen to sphere. You can change your listen to image, anything you want to do, as we do in Word document. List can be nested. Wow. You can see how this list is nested, okay? So you see the first main level. Then in between that, you have another type of list. In between, you have this type and another and another. So that one I've given to you as assignment. Okay, so when you get to the assignment page, when you get to the last page, you see this as assignment there. All right. Organizational element, I'll cover it using, let me see, using, let me move this one. Organizational element. Okay. All right. So important thing we want to add today is a multimedia element. What is organizational elements here? Organizational element should be. Okay. So we want to add multimedia element, audio and video element. Okay. Okay, so we are done with list. To add the audio to your page, we use a audio tag. Audio tag. And control here is an attribute. Control is an attribute. So the control within the audio tag, you want the audio that will display in the browser to be having menu to control it. Menus such as play, menus such as pause, and menu such as replay to be added to the audio that you are designing. That's the essence of the control here. Audio controls. So you should add control. Another important tag in between the audio tag is the source. Okay, the source tag. So the source tag is where you embed the audio that you want to embed. That is where you reference it. So to reference the audio, we use the source tag and SRC attribute. SRC equals sample.mp3. Remember here we have format, okay? Extension for audio. All these are extension for audio. MP3, WAV, OGG, Forbis, and more, etc. And more. These are sample audio formats. Sample audio format. Okay. With this sample audio format, we're saying that any of them you want to add to your web page, you put it as a value of the SRC attribute. Type equals to audio/mpeg. Okay, /mpeg. Okay, you can do without the type attribute. Okay, you can just say source SRC equals to sample.mp3, then read your greater than symbol. Okay, then we can close our audio. Right. Okay. Remember the control attribute, okay, create the start or stop a clock once or the bar. Okay. That you can use to manipulate the audio whilst it is playing or pause it. Okay. So this is example that we demo later. Example that we demo later, multimedia element. So now we want to look at video. Video also is a multimedia element, and the extension can be of these types. Okay, these are example video formats. To add video to your HTML page, we use the video tag. Remember last week we said HTML is semantic, it's meaningful. So video tag is English. Video is English. So you add those and to make it a tag. So for the video, we add in controls to add menu item to control how it's play and pause. We add control. For video, you also add width attribute, and then height attribute. You want to set a particular demarcation for the window for the video to play. So the video should play within the width of 480, so it will stretch horizontally, the height of 270 vertically, and play within that setting. Also, to point to the video, we use a source tag. SRC, the same. SRC equals to this video file name, your video file name. So you can set the type as well or do without it. But SRC here is very important. Without it, no video will be added to your website, right? So looking at the code that we have here, who can tell us the block level element and the inline element? Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
for the block level element, you're having video.
Yes, video. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then
the inline element, you have height. Adam, please, the page is not
source. Okay.
Yeah, the page is not showing.
Is it showing now? Can you see the page?
Yes, madam, we can now see.
It's showing now, madam.
Okay. All right. So that's how we can add video. It's the same way. So if you can add video, you can add audio to your page. Audio starts with audio controls, then we do other thing. So multimedia element video. Yes.
Madam, please, I want to ask a question from the previous one we did. I noticed that the meta character you didn't add it. Is it necessary to include it, or it's not necessary? Because I realized
No,
that the code ran.
it's not a must.
Okay.
It's not a must. You can include to set the character form, and there are other places you'll be using meta tag, maybe to add keywords so that your website will pop up early when they search for you. Meta, then you add the keywords. So there are many uses of meta, which I'm not covering now.
Hello, madam.
Okay.
Hello, madam.
Let me finish. I'm finishing the audio video, please. Apart from the width, height, and control as an attribute of a video tag, okay, we also have autoplay as an attribute. When you add autoplay to your video tag, it specifies that the video should play as soon as it is ready. When your browser, when the user load the browser to your website, okay, the video should load with it and start playing, autoplay. Okay. Then we have a preload attribute, which also says that video should be loaded as soon as the browser is loaded. It should load together with it specifically. Then when you add the autoplay to, it should start playing. Okay. And the control will also show the navigation element of for the video. Okay. So control set to control. Okay. Set the navigation elements such as, yes.
Everything is for. He said he had to buy his business.
Okay. Right. I'm coming now, class.
Okay, madam. Okay, madam.
All right. Sorry, I said we're going to add the image and the video. So you come in between the body tag, in between the body tag, then you add your video. Okay, you add the video. First, we are going to add audio. We are going to add the audio. Simply by this code, this is the audio starting, and the audio ending is here. We have added controls. Okay, we have added controls. Source should point to the SRC, should point to our audio file. Okay, audio file. So now I'm going to look for the audio. Okay. I think this is video. This one is video. Okay. So I'm going to copy the audio, the image from this file. Okay. To your folder. Okay. All right. We have audio here. Then we have images here. Images here. We are going to add multimedia, so we have videos here. Yeah, one video. Okay. So first, let's look at the the audio. Audio. This one is MP3. The same audio, I save it as WAV.wav. The same audio. Okay. So the essence of adding different audio file is when the person browser does not support one, it will play the other. Okay. It will play the other, the same file, the different format. So audio 1 MP3 and audio 2 is WAV. Okay, so I'm going to save that one. Audio 2 is WAV, and then audio 1 is audio 1. Audio 1 is in the form of MP3. Okay. So this is our file. Okay. We're going to refresh the artist 2. Then we can see our audio with controls. Audio with control. So control attributes in the middle, the controls that added that that brought those things. So if I remove the control and save this work, you'll not see the navigation element again. Okay. You'll not see the navigation element. So it's very important you add the control attribute for audio. Okay. So this is our audio, and you can see navigation elements. Playback is there, speed. All right, so it's on. Did you see that? Did you see anything playing? Who can tell us why it is not playing? Okay, because the audio is in a folder. You have to mention the folder name. Okay, so the path should come from the folder. The root of the audio should come from the folder, which is audio. Audio folder should remain here, part of the path. Then you put slash the file name. So this is telling the browser that the audio 2 is inside the audio folder. So the same thing we'll do here. The folder, you have to mention it slash the audio file name. All right. All right. So we'll refresh. You can see that it's able now. First, it was disabled, the control. So those are the control elements. So you can see that you can pause. You can do anything to your audio. All right. So we further audio, simple, using the audio tag, controls equals controls. Or you can just, you can remove the value. Okay, remove the value. Controls, it will also work. Just control. Okay. So if I go here and refresh, it will still work. Controls. Okay. So that is for audio. Now we're going to add video. Video as a multimedia element. First, we must study our video file. Then video start from here. Since I'm not creating a different file, I will not copy from here. I'm going to just have my video. Okay. Okay, here. So you go under the audio, we are added video. And the video, we have set how many attributes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have set 5 attributes within the opening video tag. We want you to have all these attributes. Now, let's point to our file, the video file. To point to our video file, you have to study the extension and the name. Video is here, and the name is, let me rename this. Rename as Twins Dance. Twins Dance. What is the type? MP4. So it is MP4. And it's inside the video folder. Okay. You have to study where your file is and then the file name. MP4. So since it's the only one file I have, I'll delete the rest. So yeah, we're going to point to our file. So the same will start from video folder. Then you put slash. The file name is twins dance .mp4. .mp4. So we'll save our work. Then we'll go back to refresh our window. Okay. So this is our video. The way they line up together, I'm going to put them in a different paragraph. So after here, if I say there should be P, I want to put a paragraph here. Okay. Okay. I'll close the paragraph. And this one to I'll put it inside the P. After the video, I close my P. Okay, save again. Refresh. Okay, so we have them in different paragraphs. So that's our video we have embedded with controls. With controls. So we can video. We can control the sound, and then we can play within a larger screen. Okay, can play within a larger screen. All right. So now we have added text, we have added audio, we have added video to your website. And that is the end of the last lesson. Those things I want to do. Organizational elements, I will look at it. That's how to structure your website as a different topic, okay? So now, when you look at this slide, we have assignment 1. Okay. So here we say discuss the 3 types of lists. Design a web page with the following. Okay. So I'm changing it to design your personal resume. Your design your personal resume with the following: title, paragraphs, image, video, list of 5 example of fruit. So here I'll change the list of 5 okay. This was 5 as 5 members of your class. 5 members of your class. Okay. All right. These are 5 members of your class. Then you design the following list. The following list. That's your assignment 1. You're supposed to end this last and do it last since for the last week. Then we couldn't finish the slide. All right. Any question on this part of the lesson that we did today?
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, please, with the video, you use the length, the width, and then the height. How do you choose that? Oh, yes, right, any number you prefer. Or there is a specific formula you follow.
Okay. For any this width, it depends on your design. Okay. It will depend on your design. So if your page, you structure a certain portion for video to display there. Okay, you are going to use that portion alone. You don't want video to be small or occupy your whole page. And that is the essence of setting the width and the what? height. Width and height will take the portion you have specified of the screen and display the content there. Are you okay? All right. When you push 100% as width, okay. Any other question?
Come again.
Any other question for this part of lesson?
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Please, I realized that within the audio tab, the opening and the closing, there was a statement which says your browser does not support this. Please, what does that do?
So if your browser does not support, the user browser does not support the MP4 format, nothing will play. And this sentence should display to him.
Oh, okay.
So the user using the content, if the browser does not support this format of video, okay, this sentence is what will display. We did that for audio as well. Audio, yeah, is there. The browser does not support the audio element. So if all these two types, the person browser does not support, it will do this. If the person browser does not support .wav, it will play the MP3. And that is the essence of adding different formats of the same audio. Do you understand what I did here? It's the same audio, but different formats. All right. So that is with that lesson. Today's lesson, we are going to continue.
Questions, madam.
Okay. You can ask your question.
Okay, thank you, madam. My question is, mostly when you open a browser, a page, like the arrangement of these multimedia, it can be at different locations. It can be at the left, it can be at the right, bottom, it can be within. So the question is, how do you specifically be posting your audio or video at any angle within your page? Or like different area or space within your page?
You add the alignment element, or sometimes you can position your data within the table. The video, the audio that we have done, this data we said table should have, they can be within. Okay, but mostly you use CSS for position. To come to CSS position, now we are doing raw HTML. Do you understand? We are doing raw HTML. But with CSS, we can do more. So that is the role of that technology, to be embedded with HTML. So if you understand how to write your HTML, you can start this table the way it is. So but first, learn how to start the table. So what I've done with you today is you should be able to add a multimedia element. We are adding them, and they flow the way we have written them. I started with this list, and that is why it's display field. That is HTML. Followed by this, followed by that, followed by audio, followed by video. That's how I've written the code, and that's how HTML will display it. So to add more to our display, we'll use CSS. So we'll come to CSS, okay? Later. So take note that I'm doing raw HTML. So know how to do all those stuff. Then you can add CSS to them easily. Okay.
Okay.
Are you okay? Right.
Madam. Hello, madam.
Yes.
Yeah, please, in writing the code, do you have a format you follow, a template you follow, or you have to input your own format? The code.
Were you there from last week?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That last week my network, so I find
If you are not there last week, today did you join early?
Yes, please. I joined early.
I went back again today.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, please. Okay.
Yes. I went back again today, so I can't go back again. You understand?
Okay,
So
please.
any code I'm demonstrating now is the same way I will be starting my new page. Do you understand me?
Okay.
So listen from the table I'm about to start. How I'll start my new page. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So the next we are going to look at tables. In our day-to-day activities, in Word document, PPT, you can design your own table. How do you write a table or design table using HTML? Okay, it's what we are about to do now. Okay. So this is our outline of presentation. We're going to look at simple table, okay, complete table, and some attributes. Okay, all these are attributes: cell width, cell spacing and padding, co-span and row span. Okay, so here I will just call it attributes, table attributes. So we'll look at table attributes. Okay. Table attributes. All right. We are going to look at table. So first we'll ask ourselves, what is a table? We'll define table as a matrix of cells consisting of rows and columns with the main purpose of to hold tabular data. We design table to hold or display tabular data. Do not use a table to design a page like this. Use CSS to design the structure of your web page. But basically, we just use the table to display tabular data. Tabular data such as schedule for a program is a tabular data. Maybe I want to put day one, this is what we'll do. Day two, this is what, and the time will start, this is what we'll do. That is tabular data. If I want to display list of class, including age, gender, ID, a lot of things, I use table to hold or display that data. I cannot do that using paragraph. So the essence of a table is to display tabular data. So who can give me an example of tabular data we can use table for?
Madam, can we consider
Yes.
a list of students and marks they obtain in an exercise?
Yes, please. Yes, Richard, thank you. So that's a tabular data. Who can give us another example of tabular data?
Madam,
Yes,
in
Edmond.
in our school, I would say the school timetable.
The school table. Okay. You want to display it on the website. That's the example. Okay. So those are the things we should use table for. Okay. So now, the main task for you to design a table is what I've listed here. Tables comprise of several core tasks. So these are the core tasks. you use the table tag, and in between, every row will be specified by TR tag, table row. Table data, the content within after the table row, the content within will now be used, you'll be using TD tag. That is the tabular data. TR will specify row 1, another TR and another row, okay? Then if you want to give a title to the table cells, maybe here I want to say the title here should be gender. You not use TDO, you use TH, table headings, TH. So that's what I'll use for all the cells here. If I want the cells here to have headings within table, we use TH. Headings within table, so we use TH. We also have the caption tag. So caption tag. Caption, okay. So we are closing the caption tag. So caption tag, we use it to give a title to the table. Title for the table. For the table you are about to design. Okay. The main title for this table, we use caption. And you should immediately follow the table opening tag. You should immediately follow the table opening tag. Okay. Caption. Now, table, when we talk about table row, we are moving horizontally from left to right. This is a row. This is another row. Left to right, left to right, left to right, in that order. Table row. And the columns, we are moving vertically, columns. Okay. Table should not be used for layout. Use CSS, the floats and the positioning style in CSS. You can also use div tag with CSS to lay out your page properly. Okay. So HTML5 also have semantic elements for page layout. This for page layout, such as banner, logo side, navigation, the bottom. HTML5 has semantic elements. Okay, for page layout. That's why I said I will look at page layout later from the other side, HTML. Okay. When we do CSS, it is easy to do the page layout. Okay. Okay. So this is just explaining those things we have there. TH, table header, within table, we use that. TR for defining each row. TD for holding the data. Okay. So also note that by default, table in HTML does not show a border. To display the table border, you have to use border attribute. So border equals to 1. That is the starting. So when you design table in HTML, you will not see the border as it is here, the cells border. So to add the border to your table, You go inside the opening table tag and you say border equals 1. Border equals 1. We add this. Okay. All right. We are going to design a simple table. Simple table. Okay. Simple HTML table. Okay. All right. So this is a simple table we're going to look at. This simple table is so simple that it explains all what I've just explained. To design a table, use the table tag. We start with table tag, followed by caption, the title for the entire table. Okay. Then you now specify the number of rows. So looking at this table, it will have 3 rows. 3 rows. Moving from our left to right, 3 rows. And each of the row will have 4 cells. 4 cells. For the first one, we said there should be table headings. The first row, there should be table headings. For the second row, we say the first cell should be table heading and the rest should be table data. The same happens to the third row. The first cell should be table heading. The remaining should be table data. When you display TH content, it will be bolded, serving as heading. Table data content will be normal, not bolded. Okay. So let's display our first table, this simple table. Okay. So to design the table also, I'm going to create a new document for the guy who asked the question. I'm going to create a new document. So this is a new document. We're going to add the structure of the HTML document to the top. So that's what should be done first. So we have a structure that we started with last week. This is a structure of a web page. The table should be visible to the user. So it's inside the body tag. So at the end of the table tag, we are closing the body. We are going to close the body tag. So this is closed now. Then we are going to close our HTML tag. We are going to close the HTML tag. Then we save our document. We are going to save our document here to practice. We have practice 1, 2, 4. So now I'm going to say practice 3. Practice 3.html. My data type, MIME type is already all type, so I'll save my document. All right. So this is our page now for table. Table should start with table tag. Design, make all your design and close your table. Okay. We have 3 rows. First row, second row, third row. Okay. All right. Practice 3. So I'll go to here, change it to practice 3. Title bar, practice 3. Practice 0 is table design. Table design. Okay. Okay. So let's debug our table. Practice 3 is here. All right. So that's the table we are just designed. You can see no border. And apple, orange, mango is bolded. They are bolded because it's TH, table headings. So for breakfast, no apple for that person, 1 orange, no mango. And here, lunch, 1 apple. So you can add a column, row for border. Row for border. So this is the first row. First row. And this is our caption. Fruit juice drink. Fruit juice drinks. Caption. Okay. So we are going to add the border to our table. So you go inside the opening table tag. We say border equals 1. Border equals 1. So we save our work. Then we refresh. Have you seen the impact? Border equals 1. It has added, yes, it has added border to our table cells. So that is by default, table has no border in the browser until you add the border. And the lowest is the 1. When you keep on increasing the border value, it will thicken the border. So if I say border equals to 5, is going to thicken your border. Have you seen that? The out layer will continue to be thicker. Border equals to 5. Okay. So meaning border is an attribute of the table. Border is an attribute of the table tag. All right. So we have studied one attribute now, border of a table. 1. When we want to add spaces around our table, tables have 2 attributes to do that: cell spacing and then cell padding. Okay. Cell spacing will add spaces between cells. So instead of the cells joining together, it will add space between cells. Cell spacing attribute. And when we specify cell padding attribute, it will add spaces between the contents and the wall of the cell. So within, that is where the spacing will be done between the content and the wall of the cell for cell padding. And the opposite is this one, cell spacing. The spacing should be added between the cells. Okay. So we can also use CSS to do that. When we come to CSS, we'll see how we can do all those things. But this is another table. Look at this table. For this table, we say cell spacing is 15. The value will be number. Cell padding 0. Cell padding 0. So if you want to even do 0, you don't bring it at all. Yeah, you don't bring it at all. So you can say padding can be 8, something like that, 8. Okay. So it's advisable we use for CSS. for this stuff. Okay. But within the table, if you want to do this, for this table, I'm just going to add, I'm not creating a new table. We're going to add this attribute to our already created table. So this is the table we have. I'll come in between and add more attributes. So we are going to add more attributes. All right. It says cell spacing. Spaces between the cells should be 15. Cell padding should be what? 8. Between the content and the surrounding should be 8. Space. So it will take the 8% or 8%, okay, and add it as space. So now we're going to look at that in our browser. All right, so you see our table has changed. Our table has changed. Spaces between the cells, it has increased. Instead of they joining together, it has moved the next content to different the cell by adding those spaces. And that one is cell spacing, we said 15. And cell padding between the content and its surrounding is 8. It's 8. Okay. All right. So we've talked about cell padding and cell spacing. Okay. And another example is here for padding and spacing. Okay. Table can be nested. Table can be nested. For this table, look at that. Table within table. This table is within another table. For the first table, we have table row. One row, just one row. And we have one cell. Contacts. So we have two table data within the first table. But the second table data is another table. This one is another table. That's where the first name and last name are within. So table within table. So this is showing us that table can be nested within another table. Okay. Another attribute for a table is row span. You want to merge 2 or more rows together. You use row span equals to 2. Row span equals to 5, meaning you want to merge 5 or more rows together. These are rows. Okay. However, if you also want to merge 2 or more columns together, you use co-span attribute. Co-span attribute. All right. Okay. So looking at the table below here, sample table we have here. Okay. Co-span equals 2. This is the code that merge these 2 columns together. It's supposed to be columns, 2 columns, yeah. But co-span equals to 2, merge this cell. Okay, merge this together, 2. And look at the row span. Row span. One row is supposed to go, another row there, but we have merged the middle one. We've merged it. So row span will be equal to, who can tell us? For this session,
I think it should be 2.
2, thank you. So row span equals to 2. Who said? Row span equals to 2. Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm happy you are following. We use row span and co-span to merge. Either row or columns. And the value of your attribute, the value of this attribute, the value is 2. So you are saying you should merge the two columns. Row span equals to 2. Merge 2. It can be any value depending on your design. All right. So that is what is explained here. The value of the co-span and row span. Hello.
Yeah, I wanted to find out how do you instruct if you want the merge to take place on the 3rd or the 4th column, how do you determine that? In this case, is the first column. Yes, but if you want it to happen on the second,
it's not on the first column. You see, this is a column. This side. This is supposed to be another column. The 3rd column is here. So this my table has 3 columns. It has 3 columns. The first row of the column, we say you should merge the 2 columns and display content there.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So you now come to second row. But within this column, second row, we say you should merge 2. Merge equals to 2. So to merge the 2 rows below it, it will be merged.
Hello, madam.
Okay. So TR, this table is it came in the exam. So TR for this one, TR for that, TR for that.
Madam, question.
Okay.
Yeah, please, madam. My question is, how will you assign it to the second row or the second column? Like when you are putting it in the code.
How will you assign
instruct it to be in the second column or the third or the second row?
Okay, I don't understand, but for your definition,
please,
depend on
he's
your measure.
asking that. Madam, please, he's asking that, for instance, from your source code, you want to merge cells 1 and 2 in the first row. The cell 1 and 2, you want to merge it. How will you instruct?
Yeah, so one is this. Hello, is this a 1? And this is a 2. Is that what he's saying? Is it horizontally or vertically? Okay, so
horizontally, if you want to merge cells 1 and 2.
Cell 1 and 2 instead of 2 and 3.
Yes, madam.
It's easy. You go inside the TD, this TD. This is a table data. And then we are not adding the co-span to the table though. We are adding them to either TH or TD. Okay, so let me, if I continue, you understand. Okay. Co-span and row span are attributes of TH and TD. Have you seen that? You are not to add it to table.
Yes, sir.
And it's numeric. The value is numeric. Co-span equals to 3, as I said earlier. Row span is also numeric. Okay. We use co-span or row span for either cells that title a group of columns, or a sidebar that groups row or entries. So there's a way you use it. row span and co-span. So for the headers or for the sidebar, where you want to group some element together, okay. So this is demonstrating them again. Co-span is 1 year, is 1 year. If you are merging these two, co-span will be equal to 2. So by default, co-span is just 1. To then display the content there. But if I want to merge the two together, co-span, the value will be 2. Look at this example. I've merged these two rows. This row 1, row 2, another row equals to 1. And here, the first column, I said you should merge the content. You should merge it. So row span will be equal to 2. All right. So maybe you understand with example. For this example, we are going to demonstrate row span and co-span as we go. This example has the two, row span and then what? Co-span. It's a simple table with 2 rows, currently with 2 rows. The first row, TR, ends here. And we're saying that the first table data should merge 2 rows. The second one, TH, should merge columns, 3 columns. Okay. The display fruit juice there. The first one has no content. There's no content because the TD just closed. But for the second one, we realize that it has content, which is fruit juice drink. Okay. So we are going to design this table. But the second row has no other attribute. It's just a normal row. It's just a normal row. Okay. Has no any other attribute. So we're going to demonstrate the table. So I'm going to draw another table or design another table. Within the body tag, first I'm just going to, I don't want the table to merge. So maybe I'll put a break there or HR. So let's practice HR here. This is our second table up to here. I don't want the 2 tables to join, so I'm putting, I can put some sentence, each headings. Can put some headings. So, or we can just put HR. And HR. Horizontal row. Okay. So it's in the same table here. So this is our horizontal row. If you want to put horizontal row on your page, you just that line, only that tag. Okay. Fruit juice drink, apple, orange, screwdriver. So let's see what is our content. This is showing, this has no content. So for this content, let's add something. CD. So maybe I'll say demo. Demonstration. So this is for the first table row. Then for the second row, TR, apple, orange, screwdriver. And our table has no border. So border. Border equals 1. Border equals 1. So the border equals 1. Let's see how the table look like now. Okay, so this is our table now. I think with content, you can see the margin. TR. The top, margin the top will be what? Cospan. Okay, cospan. Have you seen what we are doing?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
So table 2 rows. But here we said no. The first one we should merge it. So we made the row. But for the top here, we have made the columns. So cospan equals to 3 for this side. And the content display. And for the this rows, we have merged it. So that is what this code is doing. For the first row, we say we have 2 things: table data, table heading. Merge the rows, 2 rows, and then display this content. Merge this column and display this content. And the next thing that follows are table headings. So if I'm adding additional row, apple, orange, banana. All right. So if I'm adding another row, we can add another row, but this time table data. Closing the table data. So our table data can be another contents like grapes. Another content like what?
Watermelon.
Watermelon, thank you. Another content like what?
Strawberry.
Strawberry, thank you. Strawberries, okay. So we've added another row. So we see that the content should come below or beneath that one. Below. Because we have not merged this side again, so go ahead and change demonstration this table row to merge 3, okay? To merge 3. So go up there, table rows should span what? 3. Okay. Have you seen that? It will span all the 3. So we are adding another rows. You continue changing the margin. So that it will be in the order. Okay. Okay. I've done table, and with this table, we've talked about border attributes. We've talked about cell spacing, and then what? Who can remind us?
Cell padding, madam.
No, cell spacing and cell padding. And here, what did we talk about?
Madam, both span and the row span.
The border.
Thank you.
Column span.
Co-span,
Row span.
co-span, and row span. Thank you. So all these are attributes of a table. So I can say you should demonstrate 3 or 4 attributes of a table, design this table and add like 3 attributes. Remember, row span, co-span, we didn't add it to table tag. We added them to either TH or TD. Okay. They all are used to design the table. Okay. So table, the demonstration of this table is here, but with a color. We use CSS to add color. Okay. We do CSS. So when you go, you can practice this table and add more things and add more, extend the table. That was a past question. I just gave this thing to write the code to display this. All right. Another attribute of a table is align and varline. Align and varline. Align is for horizontal placement of content. And then varline is for the vertical placement of content within the table cell.
Hello, madam.
Also remember, hello.
Yeah, please, I wanted to request if you can give us some 3-minute break for us to stretch ourselves more, if possible.
Yeah, it's important. Okay. Even me, I want to stretch. All right. So let's go for how many minutes?
Yeah, then 3 minutes will be fine.
Madam, please
I'll give you
get this.
5
Can we get
minutes.
this material whilst we are stretching?
Okay, I'll send it. But sometimes I'm changing some things. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay, madam. When we are done.
when you are done. Okay.
When we are done with everything, then we get the material.
So it's 9:43. Let's come back at 9:50.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Mm. Hello?
Hello, madam. We are here.
Okay, thank you. So, we're talking about, we are discussing table, and we said another attribute we can use to design our table is align and varline. With align, it's for horizontal placement of your content. And remember that the content of a table cell can be image, can be audio, can be text, okay, can be list. Those are called table data. The content of your table cell are called table data and can be image, can be text, as I said. So if I say placement of the content is horizontal when you are using align, so that means the content can either move from left to right to center. So the value of your align, the align attribute will be equal to either left or right or center. All right. The align attribute can be placed within the TH tag or TD tag or TR tag. All right, so depending on your design. Okay. The second one, which is varline attribute, is for vertical placement of the content within a cell. Okay. And that one too can be applied to the TH and then the TD tag. The value of the varline tag, because it's for vertical placement, the value will either be top or bottom. Top or bottom. Okay. So example, we're going to align our content. I'm going to align our content. Okay. So I've designed 2 tables now. I designed 2 tables. Let's go to the first table. This is our first table. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this TH, let's say we are adding content. We are adding banana there. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So for the first cell, I can say align align equals remember any attribute, the value should be quoted. So align, we want the content to be center. Center. For the second cell, you maybe all of them. Okay. Let's see. But let's put it on in the T row. We want all the TH content to be aligned center. Okay, so we'll go back to our cell. So this is how the content is. When we refresh, you see that they are all centered. Banana, apple, orange, mango, only those they are centered. The content are centered. Okay. So when we are going to change the placement of the numbers. Okay. We are going to change the placement of the numbers. So I'll go to the number item. I'll say TD align center. Okay. Align center. Then we say align right. For the one we want it right. Align right. For this 0, we'll say we'll leave it. The default is left. The default is left. So for this one, okay. Center 0 now is centered. The 1 is moved to the right. And this is the default, which is left. The default of the placement within the cell is left. But now we are going to add varline to the lunch side, varline. So the last row is varline. So I'll add vin here. Varline. So say top. Varline top. Then for the 1, I'll say varline bottom. Varline bottom. Thank you. Varline bottom. Thank you. So varline bottom. Then here again, we want to add we are adding varline top again. Then the last one, varline bottom. So this is how the last page, sorry, the last row. The last row look like. So when we refresh, what is happening? The content. So top, bottom, top, top. Okay. Okay. We are not seeing it clearly. I'm not seeing the changing. There is same pattern on it. The content will move somehow to the top. Wherever we specify top, the content is to go to the top. Okay. And on that page, I'm seeing something, this one, the greater than symbol. Greater than symbol. Where from it? It's from here. Okay. So those are the attributes of a table. Align, byline. For placement with of the content of the table. So, all right.
So, madam, the
yes.
align deals with center, left, and right, and the align deals with top and bottom.
Yes.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. You should put in your mind that when you are moving, VALA means vertical alignment. And when you are moving vertically, you can either go to the top or bottom. Is that not it? Top and bottom. And the opposite is the align for horizontal placement. We are moving horizontally from left to right. Center is part, so you can go. Okay. So this next session, we are going to look at table sections. Table sections, okay? With table sections, we're going to divide the table element into the head section, body section, footer section. And this is done using the TH tag for the table headings, T body for the body part, and then for the footer part, we have T foot. Okay. A page can even have multiple T body. And when they display in a browser, they are separated by thicker horizontal lines. Thicker horizontal lines. So if you put some table design within the T head, and you come to T body, you can have multiple of these T bodies. T body content of table TRTD design, another T body, and then at the end you have your T foot. Each of these tags consists of either table heading, T row, table data, depending on your designs. All right. So we're going to look at what this can do for us. Okay. T head denotes the table header, and it can contain both the TH and the TD tags. T body denotes collection of table rows holding table data. Okay. Then we have T foot denote the table footer. Okay. T foot is to come immediately after the T head. T foot tag. So it may come before the T body element. Yes. But it display last. So according to standard, it must come before the T body element. However, it display last. Then we have core group and core, which are used to define columns. And then you can assign the width for that column. So quickly look at example. To do table sectioning, you equally start with a table tag. Table section, start with table tag. Okay. And this is the core group. For the core group, we are defining the width of our columns within the table. We say it should be 100%. 100%. So we have our table head here. Table head. For this table head, we only have one row. One row. Consisting of TH, only 2 cells. Okay. Then for the T foot, that should immediately follow it. We have only one row again. Only one row. But for the T body, we have 2 rows. T body, we have 2 rows. Okay. To do this. Okay. All right. So I'll look at it in the text editor. The third type of table sectioning. Within the body tag, again, I'll put the HR tag here. Yeah. So I put the HR. So I've saved that one. Table. The third table we are designing using the core group, table head, T foot, and then T body. So demonstration of table session. All right. So we are going to add refresh our page. Okay. So this is our next table. Okay, after the horizontal line, our table display. Footer elements, header elements, body elements. Okay. So as usual, it has no border. Our table has no border. So go here and add border. Other equals 1. Okay. So that's a table border. Another example for this table. Okay, this for this table. All right. Okay, use table only when the information is naturally tabular. That's the uses of table. Use cascading style sheets or diff for general layout. Okay. Or diff or HTML5 semantic elements. Semantic elements for general layout. So today we have talked about table in general. We've added important tags and attributes to our table. Okay. Okay. So even cell spacing, the spacing and cell padding are considered old tags, but they still work. It is preferable we use CSS. Okay. So until we cover CSS, you cannot use it. So that's why we are doing this. When we cover CSS, we'll look at it within this arena. Okay. So okay. This is your table exercise. Table exercise. As I use the code on the right to add a logo and a banner to the first row of your table. First row. Merge the last row. The last row should be merged here. And add the copyright information. Okay. So now, I want the T-foot to be merged. Merge the T-foot element. Merge this one. Make the T-foot tag content or cells and add the copyright information. Okay. And then with this design, you see some merging here. What will you use here? The first 1, 2, 3. Where 1, 2, 3 is displayed at once, what will you use there? What attribute?
Row span.
No, please.
That is co-span.
Co-span, thank you. That is co-span.
So
Co-span
that would be
span will be equals to what?
4. Right?
Co-span will be equals to what?
4.
4, madam.
4.
It should be equals to 4. We have 4 columns, and we have merged the top. So co-span will be an attribute, and the value will be equals to 4. What about the here? There's some merging here too. What attribute?
It's also co-span.
Co-span.
Thank you. It's also co-span. And the value will be equals to
2.
2.
Good morning. How are you doing? By God's grace. How are you doing too?
Fine.
Okay. So that is I think that slide will be assignment 2. 2A. And this one will be 2B. Sorry, not calendar. 2B. Please do the assignments. Okay? That's how you practice.
Yes, madam.
Yes. Hello. Who is talking? Okay. So table is what we have seen. Okay, table design. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, sorry. I should have used this slide. Use this slide for your table. But they are all the same. They are all the same. Okay.
Madam, please, you can send it also over so that you can use as a reference material.
This one, Yeah, we'll send. Okay. So, what time do we close?
11, madam.
11. Okay. So that's good.
And that time too, we have another level.
11. Okay. So we want
Please,
to.
it's at 11.
Hello.
I was actually responding to my colleague who was saying that we have interest at 11.
Okay. So we want to look at a form. If you can design table, you can design form. What is a form? All of you have used form before, especially when you are registering. When you are registering to or login to your email, you might have come across a form. So today we'll define HTML form as a section of a web page designed to collect user input and send it to a server for processing. So form acts as a bridge, a visitor, website visitor, and the backend. So this is very important because with form, that is what you use to interact with the database so that the content will be stored. And anybody can query the database through forms, especially the search engine. Let's say most of us have also used search engine. It's a form that is designed for you to query a database somewhere. You can go to the search engine and type your name. It will bring out anything concerning that name. Either it's for you or somebody else with their name. Okay. So it acts as a bridge between a website visitor and website backend. So backend is the database. So it allows the website visitor to query, to send data for processing. Form also enable actions like login, registering for an account, or submitting a search query. So those are the uses of form. On my right, you see a sample form. In the exam, this is the picture, so a picture like this that will give to you for you to design. Novel, yeah. You see novel service login. Novel service login. What tag will you use to display this? Are you, hello?
Madam, caption.
Form. This is HTML form. What tag will you use to display that heading? The novel services login. What tag will you use to display it when you are designing website? H1. H1 tag. You are applying. Okay. H1 tag. Okay. So you use your H1 anywhere within the page. I told you earlier. I said the main title for your web page, the caption or the heading, whatever you call it, will be done using the headings. Using the headings. Heading, when we have heading 1 to 6. And since this one is coming first. Hello.
So how will we differentiate between the caption and the H1 to H6 headings when it comes to
Caption is for table.
preparation?
Hello. Caption is for what? Table. Only table. But before the table is designed, they will be heading for your web page. Do you understand?
Yes,
Before that table, before that table comes in, they'll be heading for your web page, which you'll be using H1 or any of the H headings. That's okay. So we use form to collect data, to collect user data, such as registration, login, feedback. You want to collect feedback, you use form. Start your form design. Hello, you mute yourself. To start your form design, you use the form. To start our table design earlier, we use table, right? So to also start our form design, we use this the wrapper tag, or you call it okay, wrapper is okay. The main tag for designing the form is the form tag. The core attribute of a form tag is the action, and the methods. So within the form tag, you add these attributes. They are very important. Action will specify where data is sent for processing. And the method is also an attribute. Okay? Will specify how the data is sent. How the data is sent. Mostly, the value of the method will be get or post. The value of the method will be get or post. So this is what I have here. Create a form block. That's how you design form. And I say for form, most attributes, name is there, but the core attributes are the method and the what? Action. Method and action. The method attribute tells how the form data should be sent for processing. And the value can either be post or get. The get method is not secure. It will send the form data, whatever you have entered, through the URL. It will be added to the URL. Okay. So if you use method post, when the user is sending, click on the send button. Whatever the user entered will be shown as part of the URL. So hackers can easily see. Anybody can easily see whatever you have typed through the URL. So it is not secure to use get value. Except what we are designing is not to collect sensitive data. Okay. So it's advisable method value should be post because it does not display the content in the URL. So it's more secure. It sends the data through the browser without what displaying it. The action attribute tells where the form data should be sent for processing. So you add the script. So mostly it will be a script file. Okay. Some of the script tags include PHP. So you write a PHP file and that can be your action. Or you add the JSP file, or you add the ASP file. Scripting is a scripting language you write to process the form data. Okay. All right. Uses of HTML form. We use it for contacts, sending message to site owners, e-commerce, to design e-commerce site, to collect survey, to log into users' account, or for any interactive designs. Anything you want user to interact with, you use form. So form is very important to learn how to design. All right, so this is how the form works. I've described that again. The action specify the link for the script that will process it, the form data, and the method is how data should be sent for processing. So method value can either be get or post. Get attribute appends data to the URL. So it's visible to the user. Okay. Post value send data hidden within the HTTP request. So it is more secure. So things like password and personal data should be done using the method equals post. Common input type for this. Common. Mostly you realize that text field will be used a lot. Text field is used for single line text, such as username. Password field is also there. It hides characters and display it as asterisk. Email include built-in validation. So the moment you set input type equals to email, type equals to email. And this one, that is the code for password. Okay. Type equals, input is a tag, but the type attribute equals password. The browser will process it as password. Input type text. Input type number. So the input tag will be used a lot. And here I'm talking about input types. There are many. These are just some of them. So the input tag. I can't even find my less than symbol. And then the so I want to talk about input tag. Input tag. And the types attribute. And the types attributes. And the type attributes. All right. Input tag and the type attributes. So the type attributes have different values depending on your design. Okay. These are the selection elements. The tags you can use for selection element. Okay, selection element. Okay. Radio button. You use the input tag, but the type equals to radio. It allows the user to pick one from a set. If you want the user to select two or more items from a set, we use the checkboxes. Checkboxes. Then we also have drop-down list. Drop-down list. All right. For drop-down list, we use a select tag. Select tag. And options for each of the drop-downs. Options for each of the drop-downs. So we are going to demonstrate. We're going to demonstrate that.
Madam.
Yes. Yeah.
These all these are standard elements, right?
Come again.
The radio, checkboxes, they are all standard elements.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
We are just telling you, I'm just telling you what it does. Okay. The radio, it allows user to pick only one item or select only one item. So you will know where you use it. For example, gender. You should use radio button because you want user to select only one gender they belong to. But some items such as your hobbies, you use checkboxes because people can have more than 2 hobbies. Okay, so they select from. Okay. Drop-down list is used to hide certain content, such as region. If you want people to select the region they come from, you realize that you cannot use checkboxes. It will scatter the items on the interface. So you use it to hide until they click on it, they will see the drop down and select one of it. Then it closes again. If you have multiple items, there are many, it's not advisable you use checkboxes. You go for select. That is the drop down list. All right. Multi-line elements can be done using test area. And the tag is test area tag. Within this tag, you set the width and column for the test area. If you want to collect feedbacks, if you want user to submit their paper online, the abstract, you use test area. Okay. Because it will allow them to submit multiple line of tests. We use the label tag to give title to our forms. The form elements that we are designing, you can use the label to give it a title by the side. Titles such as submit, titles such as username, log password, those titles by the cells. You use label. Okay. Every form must have a button. Okay. This is example button. You can just use the button tag or you use input type equals button. Input type equals button. So here you see the type because this is just a code. Input type equals submit. The type is what is doing the task in most of them. The input can be used a lot, but the type value, look at that. Look at here. Input type is radio. Input type is checkbox. Look at that. Input tag type equals to test. Input type equals to password. Input type equals to email. That is what the browser will sense to sketch whatever you specify for on the browser. Okay. What you specify in the browser. Okay. All right, so these are another example. So the form tag is the main container label for giving a name to the form element. Name to the form element. Input tag, okay, used for text boxes, password, check boxes, as we have seen, radio button. It's used a lot to design form elements, such as those things I've listed. And the text area is for multiple line text. When you want to add like feedback, people to collect feedback. Select an option are used for drop down and the button to submit. So we have many different type of buttons. Okay, reset button. You can do reset buttons. So here, input, type equals to submit, or input, type equals to reset. Input, type equals to update. Then you add script to them to perform those tasks. But the submit is automatic. It's meant to send your content to the browser, to the server for processing. So these are other type. Okay, the telephone number. If you want to collect user telephone number, the input type will be equals to tel. Input, the type equals to tel. Okay. If you want to file upload, for file upload, okay, we use input tag, but the type equals file. You see the reset. So we are going to practice that now. We are going to practice form design. Let me see whether I have all together somewhere. Boxes. Okay, I don't have all together. So we'll be adding them one by one. So we are going to create a new page. I'm going to add our templates to the new page. Template to the new page is here. Okay. The template is not complete, so I'm completing it. So here we have we are closing the HTML. So our form content will go here. Anytime you are designing web page, make sure you have your skeleton, the structure. So yeah, I'm going to call it practice 5. Practice 5. And I want to call it form design. Form design. So when I save this work, all right, I'm going to save it as practice 5.html. Don't forget the extension .html. So my type is all type. I'll save it. Switch, yes. All right. Okay. So with the page now, nothing will display. So if I go ahead to open practice 5, you can see that nothing is displayed. Address bar, we have the practice 5, form design. Form design. Okay. All right. So to start your a form, we said you must create the block level element form. block level element. So form is our containing tag. Open the form tag and close it. So in between, you design your form. Like we did to table, the same thing we did with table. So we have opened our form, we close it. Then in between, we design our form. Before we start designing our form, we'll add the two important attributes. So those is one is a method attribute should be equal to either get or post. So as I said, I'll use post. Okay. Then action. Action will specify the file, the scripting file that will be used to process this form that we are about to design. At your level, you don't have scripts and you cannot write scripts unless you do web tech too. That will steady script. So at your level, you leave it empty. Action equals to empty for now. But let's give our form an identifier. Identifier, you can use ID or name. Name equals, so I'm giving an identifier. Okay. So I'll say FN1. So if I'm designing another form within here, I'll give it FN2. Okay. So learn to give this one for your this one. So that is for the form tag. We have named 3 attributes within the form opening form tag. So now let's continue with our form design. All right. I want the one, we are starting from here. The one with a label. Label are used to associate an explanatory text to a form field. Imagine I want to design a text box, and by it I want to display first name. Input, this alone will do it. Input type text will do that one. Then with that label. With that label beside it, it will just design the text field. Okay, so let me copy this and you see. So if we add this to our form and we save it, so we go and refresh. You see, it will just design the text box. Single line text field, but you don't know what to input there. You will not know. So that is why the label is important. When I add label, FN, I've given ID equals to FN. So within the label tag, we say 4 equals FN. Then this is what we want to show by the text box. Okay, that's all. We are going to give the first label. The first label. Okay. FN. So for that label. Okay. ID equals to FN. So that's why we have 4 attributes here and then FN. Okay. So when you refresh your form now, what do you see? First name. Is it not easy? And to make your website user friendly, they will know what to write. First name. Okay. Another way you can design this is to, so let's say I want to add last name. Instead of using label, I can use paragraph. Instead of using label, I can use paragraph. Here. Paragraph. So paragraph, let's say I want to display last name. Last name. Okay. Last name. So maybe with column. First name, maybe with column. Sorry. Okay. All right. First name with column. So paragraph. So that is the input type, whatever. Then I'll close my paragraph here after the display. I'll close the P tag I've started. P. Or you can bring the P down to match this P. Last name. Last name. So let's save that one too and see how it look. Have you seen the same last name? Last name. Okay. Single line text box is what we have designed. Single line text box. So now we are going to add a multiple line text field. Multiple line text field. Remember we said the tag for multiple line is text area. So this is our text area tag. We're giving it identifier. We said it should span 3 rows and then what? 40 columns. So let's say it should span, sorry, what did I do? 10 rows. 10 rows. Okay. And then column equals to 40. Okay. This is the text you want to display within the text area. Then you close your text area. Okay. You want to add for comment. You want to collect user feedback. So we'll come and add the text area code. If you want your table to be neat, add a paragraph. What do you call it? Paragraph. And wrap them with the paragraphs. Wrap it with paragraphs as well. So text area, then we've added how many attributes? Name, rows, columns, 3. Then we close our text area there. This is a multi-line text field. We will say give us your feedback or comment. Give us your feedback or comment. Then we close the text area. So I'll save this one too. Then we'll refresh. Give us your comments. Text area. Or feedback, okay. So you can add a name by the side. You can add name here. So maybe here I'll say feedback. feedback or comment. So to avoid this, put feedback inside a paragraph. This one. Even this one, I didn't close it. All right, so we are going to close this one. Comment. Okay, we have closed that one. Then we'll give this one a new paragraph. All right. So this is closed here. That one is closed there. Okay. Save. All right. So feedback is for this one. Okay. All right. So we can see the impact of the columns. Rows 10, and then column, we say it should be 40. So that is why we have that span. When you increase the value, it also increases. Okay. All right. Now, they cannot be formed without buttons. Buttons. So we are going to add buttons at the last part, okay? Input type buttons. So I'm going to add all these type of buttons. Okay, so to our code, we go to, before the form ends, we want to add the buttons. And all the buttons, I want them in one paragraph. So you add, you see how we are adding other tags to design our code. Okay. So buttons for reset, all other buttons, I'll add them before the closing paragraphs here. Okay. The type of button we design first is reset. Reset will clear your input. The browser will sense that the type of the button is a reset. So when the user click on it, it will clear the content. All right. So okay, I didn't see, but yes, I didn't see. Okay, reset. So when I add David Kamal, and I add some content here. All right, then we click on reset. That's what it does. It clears it. It clear the content. Okay. Maybe the user change their mind so they can clear. Another type of button is a submit button. That one we said it will send your data to the server for processing. Input, you see, input tag, where the type value is submit. And this is what we want to display, submit. So it says value equals to submit the form. Submit the form. You see how the input tag is closed? So far, input tag is self-close. Self-close. Okay. Don't go and bring me opening tag and closing tag. It is self-close tag. Okay. Okay, so submit. If you have image as your the icon you want to use for your submission, for your buttons, okay, you put type equals image, SRC to point to the image, SRC to point to the image. Name equals to, that's identifier. Then you have alternative text, submit. Okay. Ordinary button can be done using type button, input tag. I don't have image to be used for the submission. I don't have small image. Yeah, this is how you do it. If you have small image to be, you have design, maybe a button image for yourself. This is how you do it for submission. Okay. All right. So we can add this to our trying. If you want to design ordinary button, we say type equals to button. Type is equals to button. And the value attribute means click me should be written on the button. The value attribute for the other one means submit the form to be written on the button. Okay. So I'll quickly save this one and then, sorry, it's time, right? Refresh. All right, so these are the three buttons. Click me, submit form, and reset. Okay. Yes, somebody reset.
Yes, man. I wanted to draw your attention that it's time for another lecture.
Another lecture. Okay, thank you. All right, so that is a form we have designed. Know the uses and content for your form. Okay. So, did you meet online on Friday?
Yes, madam.
Yes or no?
Yes, madam.
Thank you. Okay. So this week too, he will take you through the form. Okay. He'll take you through the form. All right, Richard.
No, I don't have any question, madam. I think the button.
Okay. You click by mistake. Okay. Is there any question? Okay. Any question?
For now, no.
In depth? No question. Okay. All right. You can always contact me if there's question. All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Madam, please, you don't have your contact.
Oh, that course repass.
Okay. All right. I'll contact you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, friend.
Web developers.